All right, what's up, guys? Welcome, everyone who's showed up early. Jimmy, what's up? Nicole, thanks for joining. We're here today with Noli D. Noli D, of course, is you might know her from the Police Accountability Report over on the Real News Network. If you guys haven't already checked that out, please go ahead and do that. They have a great channel, and Noli contributes to that. You want to tell us a little bit about what you do for the Real News Network, Noli?
Well, I just kind of track down the people that she wants to do the stories on or about, and I get their contact information and make sure that they're interested in going on the show. And if they are, then I forward their stories to Taya, and then Taya kind of takes it from there.
Yes. And also, she also has her own channel, her own YouTube channel. I'm thinking if we could get her to 1,000 subs, she might feel more inclined to produce more content. What do you think, Noli?
Probably would. Not gonna lie, I there's no way I would go out there live, or I mean, without having easy access to going live. Now, if Blind Justice was still here, I'd go out there every time he went out there, but no.
So make sure you guys sub to Noli D, get her to 1,000 subs. Maybe she'll start hosting a panel. So I think Noli D I think you would have a great panel discussion if you did. I definitely go on almost every week if I could, because I really enjoy our conversations. You really you have a lot of good things to say.
Well, thanks. Hey, Peachy made it.
Yes. Hey, Peachy, how's it going?
Oh, Peachy, hello. Are you there?
She just left. James is here. What's up, James? Welcome.
Hey, how are you, Kenny?
Not bad. How are you doing?
Not too bad. I'm glad to have a few days off. I got put on forced vacation, so here I am.
Right on. That's good. So today I wanted to do something different. We've been talking a lot about auditors over the past few weeks. I thought today we'd do something a little different. We talk a little current events. Today we're going to talk about the Portland protest. Hold on, let me get Peachy up here. I don't know if this is what she wants to do. Let's see. What's up, Peachy?
Hey. Good evening, guys. Afternoon.
Hey, Peachy.
Hi, Noli D. Hi, James.
So Peachy's here to help us discuss the Portland protest. Of course, you remember Peachy. Peachy was out there on the front lines when there were protests near her, and she was out there and she was doing what journalists do. She wasn't making the story about her. She was simply out there to cover what was going on with the protest. And
she did a great job.
Excellent job. I actually really enjoyed it, and I've told her this multiple occasions. And so I figured I'd like to get her unique opinion on what's going on in Portland as well. So I invited her to join, and she accepted. Right. It looks like you're out doing. I don't know what are you doing out there, Peachy?
I'm on the farm. My family's property farm.
That is beautiful. Let's see if we can get a big shot of that. Look at all that. Those are some nice trees out there. That's some
awesome.
Very nice, Pete. Do you have horses, Peachy?
No, we have chickens, roosters, dogs, cats, and about 30 goats, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So, Noli, I want to start with you. Why don't you, Noli, give us a brief overview of what's been going on down in Portland?
Well, Portland's been pretty crazy, just like everywhere. But, just like everywhere, Portland's protests started out peaceful. And, as soon as the police got pushy, people got pushy, and then the police got violent, and the people got violent. I do not believe that the people were the first to get violent or to damage property. I truly do believe that it was on the cops for this one. But the feds are down there right now, and they are doing some crazy shit. Seriously crazy shit. And I ended up messaging the mayor like a week ago when the feds came in, And I was just like, dude, you either need to get out there and show the people that you're with them, or you need to fucking step. You need to kick rocks. You need to grab gravel and travel, because they are not going to reelect you unless you show them that you really are standing with them. Well, he ended up getting pepperballed in the face. And there's pictures of him with a bloody face and stuff. And in my opinion, part of me is glad that he had to go through that, because even if he has suffered in the past, his life has been so cushy and so great that he has easily forgotten any suffering he's ever known. And he needed to see and feel the violence that was going on downtown and how it really was, because they're so detached from it. And so, in my opinion, I am proud of the dudes for going down there, because he not only took shit from the protesters, he took shit from the feds, and now he's taking shit from left and right wing. I mean, for going down there. I mean, he's just pissed everybody off for doing it. In my opinion, that was a boss fucking move. And then there's also the naked lady. I would like to talk about the naked lady.
Woo woo!
There is a naked lady, was a naked lady on the 17th who, let's see, it says Oregon police were caught off guard after being approached by a nude female demonstrator who lay down in the street. She also did ballet poses. Everyone seemed surprised and kind of astounded. She ended up, just with her naked body all by her tiny little self, made the police disperse. They didn't know what to do. And so the feds...
You're breaking up really bad.
Oh my, okay.
Oh no, I can hear it just fine.
Me. Yeah,
yeah, not with me either.
Maybe, yeah, James, it might be your audio.
Yeah, I can hear it just fine.
Oh, possibly. I live on a mountain in Maine, so I mean, who knows?
That might have something to do with it. Yeah. Go ahead, Noli.
Kudos to the naked woman.
Yeah. I know, right? They're calling her Athena.
Okay.
And she went out there with nothing but a beanie cap and a mask on. That was it.
Good for her.
Right.
Now, no, I heard there were 18 or 20 people arrested with federal charges this week.
In Portland?
In Portland, uh-huh.
Now, I know people had been picked up and not read their Miranda rights and literally cuffed and bagged over their head, thrown into vans and took into the federal holding facility. And as soon as if that happens to you, if you're in Portland and this happens to you, from what I understand, ask for a lawyer right away and they will turn you loose. Really? They are actually picking people up illegally. They are arresting people illegally and they know it.
Yeah, vans and just it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
There was also a military.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, there was a Marine who got attacked. All he was doing was standing there in the street. He got attacked and beaten with a baton, broke his hand to the point where they had to put screws in it. And he just stood there like a boss and took it up until they started spraying him in the face with the mace, and then that's when he moved.
Wow.
But the man didn't do anything at all. He stood there. Yeah. That's it. And then they sprayed those moms. There was pregnant women in that crowd, and all they were doing was standing there and shouting and protecting their kids. The feds are out of control.
Yeah, they're arresting just anyone. I mean, I think they have been really some at the very beginning. Whether you're media or just innocent standbyers. Now they're just arresting everyone now.
Yeah, just recently I was reading that a judge issued just a few days ago. A judge issued a temporary restraining order that it tells the federal agents that they can't arrest people, journalists, or people that are just peacefully and legally protesting, because that's what the feds are doing. So the judge has gotten in and said they can't do it. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to stop doing it, obviously, but the judge did the right thing with that order he issued.
They were doing that in Atlanta. They were just running down people, whoever they could grab. They grabbed and cuffed. I can't tell you how many times I ran with the crowd away from them doing that, and it was a peaceful protest. At that
loud,
point.
Obnoxious, but peaceful.
Yeah, peaceful. And I'm like, man, why are you guys doing this? I'm on the front lines, and I'm asking, why? Like Kenny, I appreciate your accolades, but at some point, I did talk to them a few times, and basically it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was pretty. But I didn't. Yeah, but you also you did talk to people. You did the journalistic thing. You weren't out there to bash the cops like Anselmo was doing or Josh was doing. You were out there to report on what was going on. You were trying to get the reactions from the people, which that makes sense. I mean, that's what you're going to do. You're out there. I get it. But you weren't out there to further your own cause. Let's put it that way.
No, one thing that that I hadn't liked was some of the people, cop watchers, auditors, whatnot. They're demanding name and badge numbers, and I vowed not to do that. Not to do that. I don't know. I can't say that I didn't ever. Maybe a few times when deemed necessary, but I just didn't do that to be controlling with the police. And I had seen many people do that. Just keep badgering these cops with name and badge numbers, and I felt like that was just senseless.
Agreed, and I'm glad I think myself and a lot of people are glad you didn't do that. All right, we have Sean. Let me see if I can get him on here. What's up, Sean? How are you doing?
Hey, Kenny.
What's going on? So, what about you? What are some of your thoughts on what's going on in Portland?
Yeah, I have. This is a silly question, maybe, but it's just an idea because we're watching all this happen on camera. Is it possible these guys are staging their own kidnapping so we can see them?
No, these are the feds, and there's been charges brought up
that I know of.
There have been charges brought up against these feds for doing this.
Okay, but I'm just wondering if some of these, and I'm not a conspiracy guy other than Kennedy, but it just seems, well, I'll go into that with you sometime because my mom will work for James Garrison. It just seems to me so convenient that all this stuff gets captured perfectly on streams or YouTube.
Well, I think that's just because there's so many people that are recording now. Whether it's live or it's static recording and then shared later.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not saying that that's what's happening. It just seems like it's so weird because sometimes I see these things going on and say, it just seems
it seems kind of funny. And so you got to dig a little bit deeper. My source down in Portland has told me that this is 100% what's really fucking going on.
Okay.
And my source down there, I trust 100%.
I mean, how never heard the feds doing this in a domestic situation.
The thing is I haven't either. I guess, in my lifetime, I've never heard of feds doing this. They didn't even do this during the 90s down there in LA.
Well, they did do it. I mean, we heard of renditions, but that was war. That was all, all bets off.
I have a question.
Yes.
Go for it.
My question is, Sean, Kenny,
yes,
everybody on the panel, how long do you think that the government's going to let this go on before they bring out the National Guard?
They can't unless the government asks for it.
Yeah, the controls the National Guard. Yeah, the president. That's why the president made all the threats he can, which is why he's sending out federal agents. My question is, what's the legal authority for him to send out the feds? I wasn't sure. I didn't even know he was in charge
federal
of the
courthouses like they have been. They have protecting federal property. They have the right to come in and
there we go.
But they're leaving federal property and they're doing some fucked up shit off federal property.
Well, I'm not saying in esoteric sense they have the right to do it. I didn't say it was right to do it the way they're doing it.
The vandalism is extensive, especially with the courthouse there in Portland. So what turned into a peaceful protest has turned into a violent one, and it's been going on now for 50 days, I think.
But this has been going on forever.
Exactly.
Sancho said this the other day. Portland just protests the protest. They don't care what it's about.
Yeah, there's always protests in Portland all the time. Like every weekend, there's something.
Well, it started out. Sorry, no, it started out with with George Floyd, and now it's turned in with more political. It seems with the fighting against Trump sending in the feds. So it seems like it's turned
Yeah.
from like freaking everything does. It seems like it's turning political.
It is peachy. I agree.
Yeah, this is the most fascinating year I can remember like this since 1968. And I was only 7, but my parents talked a
Right.
lot and I listened a lot. I was precautious that way in politics. In 68, of course, we had the three-way election and we had the riots in Chicago. We had Mayor Daley beating up the reporters and the rioters.
Yeah.
This is almost what we're up to now.
Jesus, Sean, I thought you were younger than me, and
Yes, sir.
you're actually older. I was born in '63.
Yeah, it says
I am older.
it says here, guys, that Portland was their protests were calm and nonviolent up until the feds arrived.
Yeah.
Well,
And one of the
Do you
reasons,
believe
And
one of
I'm
the
not
reasons,
sure, but violence is going to get met with violence, and then
Come
people are
on.
going to get
So-
pissed and they're going to start burning shit down.
And
So
Tifa's
you
been running
believe
around
that
there
force-
forever unchecked.
Yeah. So a show of force incites violence, correct?
well, when it's
I
the,
think
when,
so,
when
yeah.
they're protesting,
No,
yeah, when they're
no,
protesting the
absolutely not.
government, when they're protesting the government and the government comes in trying to strong arms them, it's going to make people feel a little something, you know?
Right? Well, it would me too. Even though I'm 21 year as a veteran, I mean, I would still be hesitant to accept being strong armed. I can tell you that, Kenny.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, definitely.
Indeed.
So I was also reading up on it, and what's going on is Trump is calling it Operation Legend. He's also going to be sending troops into Chicago, Kansas City, and Albuquerque to kind of quell some of the violence that's going on there. But they're gonna have different missions in Chicago and all these places because it's not really the protest; it's just to curb violent crime.
Well,
So-
Chicago's been a lost cause for years.
Yeah, but Trump's trying to do something about that. So you know,
So Kenny, isn't that kind of like martial law?
no, it's nothing like martial law because martial law we wouldn't be able to leave our house. The National Guard would be there'd be tanks in the street. Martial, if you left your house, you're done.
You have no elections.
Yeah, an election would be, which would, I guess, depending on who you were, I guess you wouldn't want that sort of thing. So there was no election, I guess. But I don't know how close we are to martial law. The governors don't seem to mind too much, and the governors are going to be the one that call in the National Guard. So I highly doubt we're going to have a national situation like that.
Right. So every individual state, their governor has the right to call in the National Guard. Am I correct?
Correct. And going back to 2005 with Katrina, and everybody's bitching about Bush not sending the National Guard down there to help. Well, the governor didn't call him for days. And he had to sit there and wait.
Oh, wow. I never thought about that.
See, everybody wanted to blame Bush for it, basically because it was Michael Brown and FEMA, because he had the wrong guy in charge. But it's explained that until that governor, Landreau, whose brother was the first governor of Louisiana to be put in jail while the governor. It's a long-running family down there. But she didn't call. They couldn't find Mayor Nagin anywhere.
So martial law is actually a national thing versus a state bringing in the guard control situations, correct?
Right. Yeah, because basically it'd be a nationwide thing. We would dissolve the government and start over.
Oh, that would be horrible.
But that's what you see like in these like Venezuela did one time. Basically, that's what Cuba did when Castro came in. They basically dissolved everything.
Yeah, so that's what's going on in Portland, all that. So let's see what else we got here. And I was also looking at some videos when the feds are out there, they're deploying their tear gas. I saw some video of using leaf blowers to kind of blow the tear gas back at the police. I thought that was ingenious and funny at the same time.
Well, the Seattle police just sent a memo out to all the shop owners saying, starting the 26th, we're not allowed to use tear gas anymore. So basically, you're kind of on your own. We can't dispel groups anymore. We're stuck.
But that was just fucking taken down. They just fucking some judge Roberts or something like that undid that for a temporary basis because the feds are going to be rolling in this weekend and they wanted to be able to use it.
Well, because yeah. I mean, I've never been tear gassed in my life. I've never been in a riot. I've been a few bar fights, but not a riot. But they Seattle got let go too long, and it wasn't an issue until the mayor had a problem. Then they had an issue once they started coming to her house.
Yeah, that I noticed that in Seattle too. I thought that was pretty stupid. But the Portland mayor didn't have an issue because the people of Portland had an issue with the police before the feds showed up, right?
Yep,
they were calling for the mayor to resign before the feds showed up. All of a sudden, the feds show up. The mayor's like, "Okay, now I'm here with you guys." He was getting booed while he was out there trying to talk. He was briefly, he was brief when he said Black Lives Matter. Then some people started saying, "Okay, you said something we like." But as he was leaving, people were saying, "Now you need to resign. You need to be out here every single day." Was what they were telling him. They're not happy with him. They want him gone, regardless of now that he's on their side.
Wow.
You always hear about people saying, well, look, there's change coming in this country. Somebody was saying, I think Michael Moore may have said this. Yeah, everybody you see out there protesting, they don't vote. And that's why you're probably going to get Trump, because those guys ain't going to go vote.
So, Hot Gal and Stanley, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. And hold on, they had a list of demands, and let me see if I can find it. Hold on, I downloaded it. It was, let's see if I can find it. Here, getting noisy now. All right, so it is. Hold on, I just had it. All right, so these are their one: defund the Portland Police Department by 50%, at least. Reinvest into the communities, especially the Black community. 2, free all protesters from jail. 3, feds out of Portland now. And 4, you, Ted Wheeler, need to resign. Those are their 4 demands.
Yep.
Not going to happen.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing about the protesters. They want to free all the protesters. They don't care what they are in jail for. I don't agree with freeing all of them. The ones that were there, that
the ones who are guilty,
yes,
and they have proof that they are guilty of violence and like trying to burn the buildings down or whatever. Yeah, they should not be released without bond.
Exactly. But the people that were just arrested for just being there and being in the vicinity of something that happened, they should be released.
Oh yeah, they let them out and just say, don't do it again.
Right.
Next time you stay in jail. It's your warning.
Exactly.
But
now,
the thing is, they don't even deserve a warning, in my opinion. They shouldn't have been arrested to begin with. The ones who were mouthing off or were just shouting and yelling, or said no, I'm not going to disperse, and just stood there and fucking took it. There's no reason for those people to be sitting in jail.
Right. I mean,
they didn't do anything wrong.
Exactly. That's First Amendment rights. You have a right to peaceful demonstrations, even if you run your mouth. There's a big difference between peaceful and violent.
Yeah, exactly. And words are not violent unless they are fighting words. And Eva, stop it. Sorry, my dog's being stupid.
Unless it's criminal. I mean, if you're criminal threatening, I mean, that's a different story.
Yeah, well, that's something that's breaking the law. A law that, clearly we all agree with enough to where we haven't, protested against it.
All right, so where do you guys all stand on their first demand of defund the police by 50% and reinvest it in the community? I want to get
25%
each
for me.
an opinion on each one of you guys. So, Sean, let's start with you.
25% I would go maximum, and that's
Okay.
more of a cosmetic thing to calm them down. But this just proves they don't have enough police now.
James, what about you?
I didn't really hear the question. There was a lot of crap going on in the background.
Where do you defund the police? And one of the demands is they want the Portland Police Department decreased by 50% and reinvest in other communities. Do you agree with that demand?
I do not. I believe in the quote unquote thin blue line. No, I don't believe in defunding the police is going to do anybody in any community any good.
Okay, fair enough. Peachy Rider?
You will have to skip me just for a second, okay? I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm in transit.
No worries.
I apologize. I left
No
my
worries.
I left my mic on. I apologize, guys, too.
No worries. Noli?
Well, you already know I'm for it. Just because looking at my county's budget and being someone who has been incarcerated inside my county, where they say the money's going is not. Like there's at Aberdeen Police Department, there's a parking lot that they say they get resurfaced every year, and it costs about $22,000+ to do it every year. I can promise you that damn parking lot ain't been resurfaced in at least 10 years.
Yeah.
But every year that money disappears and it's taken from us. And I can promise you Portland is up to the same shit, just like every other fucking city in this country.
Yeah.
And
I
so
think you're right.
I'm okay with them being defunded by, I don't think 50%. I think that's a little bit high, but 40%. And the money that 40% needs to be allocated in a way that is transparent right now, not in 2 years. Because as far as our weed money here in Washington, I don't see the impact anywhere. And looking at the numbers, we should be doing great by the numbers, but by the numbers, we're not.
I think, I don't know. I'm not really for the defund police department. I think that it should be. I think there should be some sort of accountability for the budgets.
Absolutely.
Maybe citizens board or something that reviews it. The money is going where it is said. Because I'm just like you said, Noli. It's not just a police department. The government in general will say, "Well, we're using this money for this," and they never really do. So definitely, there's a issue. There needs to be some more accountability with the budget. We shouldn't just leave it to them to say, "Oh, this is what we're doing," and then they don't do it.
How about putting all that extra money, quote unquote, into training our police officers?
We've tried training many times before, all throughout this country, since the fucking 40s. Sorry, I sweared. Since the 40s, there's been retraining, there's been sensitivity training, there's been de-escalation training after de-escalation training, and it's not working. And now they have tanks and shit. I mean,
yeah, I personally don't see a reason why
fucking training ain't working.
Yeah,
accountability and getting rid of that goddamn immunity is going to make a big difference.
One of the things that I've noticed is all the tactical equipment and all that stuff that police have now.
They are military.
They're not military, and they're not being trained like the military is trained. And trust me, I was trained, so it's kind of scary to me as to what the weapons and the tactical equipment and all that stuff that they have. That's a little bit scary if they don't know how to use it properly.
And I'm sorry, but the whole tyrant mentality and stuff. I mean, I know ex-cops who all say the same damn thing, that they started out with the best of intentions, and within the first year, they were doing the same shit everybody else was doing on that force. by abusing their power, and abusing their power turns into abusing the people.
Well, thank God, Peachy, that no, I'm sorry. That's Noli, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I apologize, but I will say that up in
no
Maine, that our, like in my county especially,
Yeah, I never really heard anything bad about Maine police.
no, I mean, they are good. I mean, but our deputies are normal people and they talk to you like a normal person.
See, ours don't.
And if you frigged up, then they tell you, hey, you know, we're going to have to go ahead and take you down to the station or whatever. I know I'm a paramedic, have been for many, many years, and I've worked with countless deputies and local police departments and stuff like that, and they are actually pretty professional. But
Yeah, see,
you
you're
do
damn lucky there,
occasionally get an idiot that's trying to show their ass or whatever. You know?
Yeah, and see, it's like, well, here in Washington, I mean, like, my brother-in-law is a cop, and he's not allowed on my property because he is one of them, and I mean one of them in the sense to where he is probably the best cop that my local PD has, as far as dealing with people in the public and being, you know, sticking to the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. But he is also a tyrant, and he is a manipulator, and he is a liar, and I have no time for people like that in my life. Whether you're a cop or not, I don't want you in my life if that's how you are. And
Right.
yeah, I don't want to lie, deal with no liar. I don't want to deal with somebody who's going to, you know, use intimidation tactics and like herd you around like you're a fucking cow.
Well,
No,
personalities aren't just cops. They can be anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody. And they are anybody. I've dealt with many of them throughout my life, and I'm not willing to subject myself to Trump's hard. Hi. I'm not willing to subject myself to that kind of abuse, because those are the people who I have, you know, spent a lifetime being abused by. And I'm growed, and I won't take it no more, not from, you know, anybody. And I don't have to be a bitch about not taking it anymore. I'm just like, I don't want you in my life. I don't have time for you. I'm sorry. Bye.
We're also looking at now with Antifa and maybe
Oh,
other
God.
groups, but you're looking
Portland
at something that we
Antifa is
haven't
not the
seen
same.
since the 60s with like Weather Underground and the Black Panthers, which is organized chaos.
Yeah.
The only thing they exist for is basically to go in and hit people.
Well,
Yeah.
when people are not being heard, though, what do you expect? You know, I mean, even
I
me,
expect
if
them to
I'm
walk
not,
it. Okay, I understand people wearing masks now because, you know, we have COVID, but if they were so brave before, why do they always have to hide their faces? Why are they?
well, it's not. That's
Why
not
are they
about
beating up
bravery.
journalists they don't
It's about
like?
it's about being targeted by the police, or it's about being caught for the illegal shit that you are doing. I mean, that's the real of it.
They put a journalist in a hospital with a plaster bomb upside his head because he wrote something they didn't like.
Oh, wow.
Andy Yo, NGO, look him up. He has documented these guys. I think he actually infiltrated the Chaz.
Okay. So yeah, Antifa in Portland is not what like the rest of the country thinks of as Antifa. Antifa stands for anti-fascist movement, right?
I know, but
they are some of the most fascist fucking people down there. They are racist as fuck. They are awful. The Portland ones, they might as well be Proud Boys, and they should just be together.
I was watching something that
had-
at one time Portland was considered the most racist city in the West.
Oh, and it still is.
So that's why this whole George Floyd thing in Portland, that's a joke. They're just using it to have a fight, to go burn something down.
The members of Antifa, I would not fucking doubt that. But I know there are a lot of really good people down there who are out there protesting.
Of course. I would not doubt
I'm
that.
only like an hour and a half north of Portland.
You're in where?
I'm near Aberdeen.
Home of Cobain, right?
Yeah. Kurt
You hear
Cobain.
that a lot, I'm sure. So yeah, I haven't been to Portland in a year. I'm kind of too scared to go there now.
My daughter,
love
my
it.
oldest daughter, goes down there all the time, and she was down there just a couple of weeks ago to go and pick up a trunk for me that I'd bought. And
Okay, Peach, you got something to say?
No, I was just saying I would love to go there and film. I certainly would. I was arrested in Atlanta for being past curfew, and I would probably think that I don't know if I were there 10 days in Portland if I would be arrested or not. That's debatable, but I would love to go there if I had opportunity and film in Portland.
you would do great. I know you would.
Oh, she would. She would be awesome.
Hey,
But God damn it, when I yell at you and I tell you to just go get away from there, you better listen.
Yeah.
You scared me so fucking bad. I about had a heart attack. I had to turn you off because I couldn't take it no more.
Which night was that, Nolan?
Oh my God. The second night, I think, or third night that you were there.
Yeah.
It wasn't the night that you got the cut on your eyebrow. It was the night after that. I think. Yeah, the night after that. But God,
I'm
you
sorry.
just scared the shit out of me.
Can you guys hear a lot of loud sounds in my background?
Like
I'll
background
mute.
noise or whatever. Yeah.
There's a little bit of
No,
background
I
noise
mean
here.
it's like where I live, everybody shoots guns, and they're shooting right now. That sounds like an AK, but or an AR.
Holy shit! Where are you?
I live in Maine.
Like, oh, okay. So they're just target practicing or whatever.
Oh well, yeah, I'm sure they are.
Okay. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons. I mean, it's loud. I'm surprised you guys can't hear it.
Oh, I can hear it. I can hear it. There's like a little in the background.
Yeah. That's either an AR-15. Probably, I think that's what it is. It sounds like it. But I mean, people shoot around here all the time. My closest neighbor is a half a mile away. I live in the woods, so there you go.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
Hickabillies
are great.
You know, I mean, it's scary. This world is scary right now. I'm saying that
it is.
because I'm scared of what's going to happen to our country.
And so, if I can say that's why it's so important for us to all try to film. And I know it is scary, it is dangerous. At the same time, this is why it's so important for everyone to turn on their cameras.
Well, in my profession, I'm a paramedic, so I mean, turning on a camera isn't really a good idea.
Yeah, you can't.
But,
you can't. Not while you're on the job.
Not on the job. Of course not. Of course not. But look, bad things have to happen sometimes for change, and I don't advocate the vandalism and the looting and the rioting. I was there filming. I was there documenting. I was certainly not there egging them on. I was certainly not there to warn them that the police were coming. A lot of what I was saying was taken out of context because I was talking to my audience, not to anyone around me.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. But no, it is scary and it is dangerous. And yeah, go ahead.
You've done an awesome job on your video speaking. I'm telling you that.
Well, I appreciate it. That was the first time that I filmed anything like that. and I wanted to get better each and every night. I was flattered by the donations that came in that allowed me to stay in Atlanta to film. My mom came down and spent 4 nights with me, and my mom and I talked about it. She's like, well, what can you do better this time filming? Or, and, she's my parents are my moral compass.
Yeah.
And, I really try. And I tell you, the first night that I was there, I don't know if people that were watching remember this. The first night when I stepped off the train, I pretty much stepped in the fire. They were setting papers and things on fire. They got it out of this building, and I walked down the street, and of course there's already military vehicles and all there. And I walked down the street, and there was probably about 30 motorcycle cops parked, and all side by side. And I stood in front of them, and I gave them the bird. I gave them the finger. Every single one of them said,
Why?
It was. I don't know. I think that because
I mean, they hadn't done anything to you to deserve
they had
that.
not. No, but honestly, that was my mindset. I decided the very last second to go down. I went with the clothes on my back. I was on my motorcycle. I just did a boring swim stream at my athletic club, and I decided at 8:30, 9 o'clock to go down. And so I spent 5 or 6 days in the same clothes until I bought a couple of shirts at Hooters, but the only place that was open that hadn't boarded up. But yeah, I don't know. I still think about that, and I have it on film, and I have not clipped that out. But I stood in front of every one of them in that big group, and they were just pulling out. They know how to pull out. And I'm a motorcycle enthusiast. If you guys know me, you know I ride. And I stood there and shot them, every one of them, the bird. But there was a few things that I regretted during that whole time. But for the most part, I tried to do better each and every evening. I really did. Made a conscious effort to just document and not, and like Kenny said, not to make myself a part of the story.
Well,
Exactly.
I'm Southern by birth, and so I've always followed. I lived near Atlanta for 9 years in Jacksonville, Alabama. But Georgia right now, beyond
can I interrupt you real quick?
Yes.
I graduated from Jack State.
That's where I was going to go to school till we moved when I was a freshman in high school in 1976. So, all right, Gamecocks. But
that's it.
This is you got the governor and the mayor fighting over a mask. It's like there's silly things going on. You don't even have your government down there in coordination with each other.
That's right.
Everybody. Yeah. I want to see change. Of course I do. I'm from the dirty South. I got lucky in that I grew up in not rich neighborhoods. My first place I lived when I was a child in New Orleans was a black neighborhood. I was probably the only white kid in the bunch. No problems. My high school, Jacksonville High School, no problems. Everybody got along fine.
I did my student teaching there.
I heard about everything, but I didn't see it in my world. But I don't want to see a world where we just virtue signal all the time. Well, we'll change them to Redskins. Well, we didn't change it last year. Why are we changing it now? We'll take
Holy
TV
crap!
off. That'll change everything. Why? We'll change Eskimo pies. What?
Right.
Somebody has a full auto.
Welcome to the panel, Mr. and Mrs. J. How are you guys doing?
Hello, Mrs. Jarhead.
We're doing okay, as well as
Hi, Mrs. Jarhead.
And Mr. Jarhead.
Hi, guys.
Hello. Who said that?
Me, Sean.
Oh, hi,
And
Sean.
I said hello, Mrs. Jarhead. I love you guys.
Yep. Noli's hi too.
Hi, Noli. Hi, Peachy.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hello.
All right, so I have a question for everybody here on the panel. Okay, so there's a comment in there that says we are on the verge of a civil war, and then someone also doesn't agree with it. Where's the panel sit on this? Do you think that there's enough political turmoil that we are on the verge of a civil war? Let's start with you, Sean.
No.
Okay.
That'll never happen again because, number one, the U.S. military will quell anything that would be in the president's power to stop it immediately. Mm-hmm. It's hyperbole that they like to use on different newscasts, both Fox and CNN, and everybody else, because it gets viewers, it gets people worked up. But as far as a civil war, no, it's not going to happen.
Okay. What about you, James?
Well, I already expressed my opinion that I thought we might be heading for a civil war, but the problem is, what the hell is the Civil War going to be about? Is it about the government against the people, or what? I mean, it's scary to me. I mean, I'm watching these news broadcasts and whatever, and I'm a little bit worried.
Okay. What about you, Noli?
I don't see it actually getting that far just because of the generation that we happen to be in. I don't even see it getting bad like it did back in the 90s down in LA. I think it's gonna come to a halt before it gets to that extreme. Now I know that, in a few cities there has been a lot of violence and a lot of buildings that have burnt down, a lot of places that have been looted. And I'm not okay with that. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I don't care who happened to smash that window in, even if it was a cop. You're the one who went in there and fucking robbed the place.
Right?
Okay. All right. What about you, Peachy?
I don't think we're going to be going to that extreme. I don't see that happening. Oh,
No. No, I don't think so. I don't think we're at that point yet. Although when you're in the midst of a big crowd and hundreds of Atlanta City police officers and the Georgia the National Guard, it almost feels like it. But no, I don't think we're at that point yet.
Sure.
What about you guys, Mr. J and Mr. J?
Well,
Your mic is off. There it is.
I'm one who said that in the chat the other day, that I think if it was going to happen, it would have happened by now. So maybe not anymore, but not to say that there might not be individual states that might have problems. Like, I mean, if they don't stop the shit that's going on in, where is that, Washington State? Or, yeah, Seattle. If they don't put an end to this, and I mean, I'm sorry, but show of force end to it.
Right.
I mean, it's got to be ended, and it's got to be ended now. It should have been ended right after it started. No of this summer of love bullshit. I mean, that was just ridiculous.
I think with the COVID-19, it just makes it a very unique situation. A lot of people that are out of work, and people are becoming more desperate and getting very angry, and it's because I don't think that we're getting clear answers for anything, for the COVID-19, for all the people that have been shot by the police. I just don't. I don't think that they're doing enough. And as we the people, I think that we're fed up.
Yeah.
True.
I agree. I actually don't think there's going to be a civil war either. I honestly wish that there wouldn't be as much political bullshit that's going on with all this. The left is blaming the right is blaming the left. It's a bunch of bullshit.
I know.
It's annoying, and it shouldn't be going on like this. It was something like this, and not only that's with this, but with COVID and just everything that's going on. It's just pretty much turned into a big shit show, and wish they would be able to come together on. They can't even come together on a second stimulus package for us. I mean, that's how freaking against each other they are. It's just ridiculous. Other countries are out there. Canada, other countries are giving monthly stipends to their people. We're one of is like, whoa, hold on, we got to make sure it's right for our agenda, and then the left's like, okay, we need to make sure it's right for our agenda, and they can't come together. It's utterly ridiculous. They can't come together
I
on
know.
anything.
It's true, Kenny. I mean, but if you're unemployed, they give you a hell of a bonus every week.
Yeah. And that's
Some
true,
people,
Fizzy. Libertarians blame both. Good point.
some people that are unemployed are making twice as much now as what they were before when they were employed.
Do you have statistics for that? Because I don't believe that.
I
Do you
can
have
tell you what
statistics
the
that they're
minimum
making?
wage is in Maine, and the workers that are unemployed now are getting their full benefits plus $600 a week. They're making
Yes,
twice
they
as
are.
much
And
as what they
I'm not
did.
I'm not too sure where that's fair. How is that fair? How is that fair to the rest of us that are
It's not
self-employed
fair.
and having a hell of a time trying to make it? And $1,200, I tell you, did not go very far.
If you are self-employed, you can go ahead and apply for that same benefit now. Well, I mean, you have been able to. It's going to be ending in a week anyway. But yeah, like several weeks ago,
Great.
you could have been getting it like almost this whole time.
Yeah, and
I did not know that.
I'm so sorry. That's heartbreaking.
EMS and the government come out with whatever, hospital apply for it, blah blah blah. You know what I get? I get $15 extra a week for hazard pay.
What?
$15.
That is bullshit.
And they tax it.
That is bullshit. That is not hazard pay. That's not even
an hour.
Are you getting prevailing wage at least?
No, I make like
the only extra you're getting is $15 a week.
I make like $32.50 an hour base pay, and then you get incentives. I mean, because of shifts or whatever, weekends and blah blah blah.
See, that's like a massive wage compared to here.
Well, I make good money. I mean, but
you must have been
I
working a long
worked my
time,
butt off. I went from working from 60 hours average a week. I'm working 110 hours a week because I'm having to pull shifts in the ER because they're short staffed, pulling shifts in the med surge because they're short staffed, because nobody wants to come to work. They're all scared of getting COVID-19. I mean, whatever. I'm not scared. You wear the same damn precautions as you do every single day. You get it? You get it.
See, so I don't understand why are places stop giving hazard pay. What's the rationale behind not paying the hazard pay?
They're not paying.
But what's the rationale?
Because the government said that if you're an essential worker, then you should get hazard pay. Ours is $15 goddamn a week. It makes no sense.
Yeah, and in my opinion, I'm sorry, but the people working at the store still, they should be getting hazard pay, and the people working at gas stations still, they should be getting hazard pay. They're actually putting up with people coming in without PPE on.
A lot of them, like even in the little gas station in my little town, trust me, I live in a little town, but we cover a huge area, like 85 square miles. But
Yeah, same here.
What they got $1.50 more an hour. Hazard pay.
I have a quick question.
That's a hell of a lot more than $15 a week.
Yeah, exactly. It is. That's just what.
Yeah, here in California, man, I know if you work for Caltrans and all you do is holding a sign, you're making easy $30 an hour just holding a sign. That's because of the hazard pay.
I'll hold a sign for $30 an hour, Kenny.
Yeah, come to California and work for Caltrans. You can do it. But you might get hit. You might get hit by a car, though.
Right. Well, the only thing you get hit where I live is maybe by a four-wheeler or a deer.
Hey, Sean.
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on. Which one is the paramedic? The
James
EMT.
is. James is.
Oh, okay.
I'm just a little accountant.
James, I have a
or
quick
anything
question.
like that.
What are the statistics in your area for overdose with fentanyl or the heroin? You being the EMT, is it really bad in your area? And what area is that?
You talking? I think James dropped out.
Oh, I was gonna say then something. I can't. I was gonna say I can't. I can't hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he dropped out. Yeah, but yeah, I agree that hazard pay is definitely something that should. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with it for everyone because I don't know, like for store workers, I see your point, Noli, in saying that they should get it, but I don't know if I don't know if I agree with it, but I definitely see your point.
Why? Because not only because of the COVID. Are you saying that's why they need hazard pay?
Yeah, I think that anybody who is still at work instead of being forced to stay home should be getting extra pay, fucking for putting themselves at risk.
Is there anyone on the panel who thinks that the COVID-19 is just being trumped up, being much worse than what it is?
I've lost 6 people so far, so I can't say I'm one of them people.
I'm not a hoaxer.
Okay.
That's for sure.
I have people in the nursing field, and no, it's not trumped up.
Yeah. I don't think it is either. I hear so much of that from certain people, and I just thought I don't argue about it. I just agree to disagree.
Are they also flat earthers?
No,
Okay.
they're not.
I'm just wondering because to me, if you start with one, you just keep going.
That's a good question, but no.
See, I have Crohn's, so I have to, and I'm 59 years old, so I got to be careful. And I have been, and I followed. I figure these doctors are pretty smart, but when they say, "Hey, we can ease up on this, we can change this way," I listen to that too. But it's pretty simple. Stay home, people. If you don't have to be somewhere, don't be somewhere.
Hi, Comfort Doll.
Hey, what's up, Comfort Doll?
Excuse me.
Yeah, so this but by the way, I never said I don't know if I never said COVID is fake. I do believe COVID is real. When I was talking about they turn in all the bullshit, it's just all the politicalness that has been involved in everything that's going on.
What's an election year? If it happened last year, it wouldn't be the same.
True. That's a very, very good point.
I didn't hear what did he say? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just making sure people didn't think that I thought COVID was fake because no, I do believe it's fake. I know people that have gotten it, so it's definitely a real thing. Luckily, I haven't lost anybody I know, but it's definitely real when it's out there. So I'm not one of those people that just don't believe it's not out there because it is. Like that one guy in your panel that I was on the last time, man, that guy just didn't want to believe that COVID was real.
Yeah, they've done, I guess, a nationwide mandate for masks with certain businesses like Publix and I don't know where else. Walmart, other places, right?
Yeah,
So
Walmart, you have to wear a mask when you go in.
Yeah.
Anywhere in California, anytime you go in anywhere, you have to wear a mask in California. It's required.
Salt Lake City,
well, now
Utah
they're
also.
making that nationwide with a lot of these big businesses. So of course we're getting a lot of these videos with Karen quote Karen characters pitching a hissy fit, or Darren if they're male pitching a hissy fit. I did walk into Publix the other day and I forgot my mask, and I felt like I'd asked an employee, and she goes, "Don't worry about it." But as I shopped, it was like people were looking at me like I had three heads, like I was an alien, right? Because I didn't have my mask on. Um, so it wasn't done deliberately, and I could probably get a waiver from the mask, but I um I believe it's real, and I want to protect my family members.
Yeah, I
James is
totally
back.
agree. And I think that's the thing that people get so upset. I mean, I was in a Walmart, and this is way before COVID really hit. But this lady I was like 6 feet away from her. She wanted me like 12 or 15 feet away. I'm like, I'm 6 feet away, just relax. And she just was going on and on. Like, lady, just relax here for a second. I'm 6 feet away from you. It's not an issue. The staff at Walmart actually had to get involved. Like, please just calm down. He's far enough away. When they put those little stickers down, they're more than 6 feet apart. When they put the little stickers down on the floor, they are. But she wanted me to be on the next sticker. I made sure, because I don't stand too close to anyway in line. I don't care. The only reason I did in the Army is because, well, I was required to. But for the most part, yeah, I try to keep my distance from people. So yeah,
Was she a Karen, Kenny?
I don't know. I don't like to use her, but she was she was on one. I'll put it that way. She was definitely on one.
It's just not worth fighting about. It's the civil right. No, civil rights were blacks getting killed because they were black and lynched.
Yeah.
This is not a civil right. This is, come on, just be nice, people. It's not too hard.
Well, but should people have a choice? Well, I mean, they're not going to take you to jail
But here's
for
the
it,
whole
though,
thing:
right?
the business has a choice not to let you in too.
That's right.
And
They're private.
So
That's exactly
if they
right.
say, "Well, I don't want to," say, "Well, we don't have to let you in here either." You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
There's Mr. and Mrs. J there.
Wow.
Amazon is Walmart's sister. I like that. No,
Mrs. J, how's Jarhead doing?
He's all right. He's out feeding the horses out in the pasture.
Oh, goodness. You have horses. So do I. I rescue standardbreds.
Good for you.
We have 3 standardbred rescues. I have a nurse mare full rescue, and I don't know if you can see him, but I have a whole bunch of goats that I rescued.
That's awesome, guys.
I was trying to get a picture of my cat that looks just like Peachy's cat.
Yeah, his name is Tater. I call him Tater, like potato chip, Tater, or Tater Bug. But yeah, he's a rescue. But when my dad was married, they here on the property they rescued. It was more my stepmonster did. She was into that rescuing cats and dogs, and that was a cool thing. But she wanted to keep all of them inside, so my dad pretty much had enough of that. But yeah, we've had on this property, which I would be the third generation, fourth generation on this property, and we've had horses and things. But I tell you what, kudos for you guys doing the horse thing. They are so much work. I still would like to travel. I don't really want to be even tied down with goats and other animals because I like to travel. But man, there's so much work.
Oh, trust me, horses kind of keep you tied down. I have
absolutely. Yep.
I have a worker that comes and takes care of them. I mean, because I can't. It's like I work like over 100 hours a week now. I mean, I don't get to spend the time with them that I want to. Don't get to train them. Working on trying to find them, find the horses' homes and blah blah blah. I mean, but it is what it is. I mean, in this day and age, I'm a little bit worried about it.
Yeah, I would actually love to go travel. I love to take my show live and like just go to like Stonehenge and then do like a report on News Now Patty or whoever while I'm at Stonehenge. Just, I think that would be awesome. That's the end goal. If I can ever make a killing on YouTube, I doubt it, but if I could ever do it, that would be the freaking that would be the goal. And I thoroughly enjoy it.
Take
Kenny,
News
would
Now
you
Patty to
shadow-
Stonehenge and leave him.
Yeah, take Patty to Stonehenge and just leave. I'll be right back, Patty. I swear to God, I will be.
He'll get
right
lost in the middle of it. He'll never find his way out.
Right?
He'll be asking
Pretty-
stones for money. Hey, can I have some money?
Right. Hey guys, I need some help because I need to move these stones. Or some stupid shit like that.
Good luck, Sunday. It's never been done.
I have a
Pretty-
question.
pretty much
Go
pretty
ahead, I'm
much the wrong platform if you want to get rich, Kenny. I can tell you
no,
that.
I know I know this and I don't plan on it. But no, Fitzy, I do not have a PayPal. I do not have a PayPal.
So did you guys see Bitch Tits, Josh Abrams? Did y'all see the video a couple of days ago where
Eddie
he was
B.
with
Cups?
he was with Chuck and the cops had stopped these kids?
Yeah, oh my God, that was just so stupid. The cops
Oh
told
yeah,
me,
yeah.
cops were like, no, we stopped him for this reason, and that wasn't enough for Josh. It's like, no, they gave you a particular reason why they stopped the kids, but that wasn't enough for Josh. He still had to berate them. It was fucking utter stupid.
Was it not utterly ridiculous?
It was.
I mean, if that is not a interference with an investigation, I don't know what is. Honestly,
Agreed.
I mean,
Agreed.
really, if you ask me who I watch the good, bad, and the ugly to learn what not to do.
Josh is proof that bad condoms don't work.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, and every cop that he comes across, I'm going to get you fired.
Oh yeah. No.
Yes.
Federal
Yeah.
agents, IRS agents,
Hi,
marshals.
Sean.
You'll get anyone
Kenny.
fired. Hey, what's going on? Yeah,
We are all agents.
Yes, according to the Moors.
yeah, according to the Moors.
That's all we need now. But you see that one Black Lives Matter rally had the Moors running around?
They-
It's like, oh, great, this helps. That's all you need now in the middle of all these riots.
I
Have
wonder-
the Moors come running in.
Have any soft sits said anything about all the protests that are going on? I mean, what's their stance on the protest?
I don't think they care.
Yeah,
They don't
Probably
really belong
not.
to anything.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
I said,
Who
I
are-
wanted to
who
send
are
Glenda
side-
to Seattle,
So-
man.
Who are you referring to? The sovereign citizens,
The sovereign citizens, you know,
Right
the
to
ones
travel
that
people.
talk, yeah, their right to travel.
right? But who do you think that are deemed sovereign citizens in the community, in the YouTube community?
In the YouTube community, I've heard rumor that James Freeman is one. People say it. I can neither confirm nor deny because I don't really have an opinion on him being a sovereign citizen. And the YouTube community is just the people that
Make videos over and over.
yeah, they make videos of they're stopped by the police and they try and talk their way out of a ticket and like, oh,
Word
I don't have
salad
an
type,
ID.
yeah.
It's my right to travel. Blah blah blah. And then it ends up in they either get their window broken and dragged out, or the video mysteriously stops right as they're about
Yeah.
to get towed.
As we say, break, taste, cuff, and stuff.
Well, I have to say that
They
if there were-
always
if-
lose, Kenny.
Hold,
Yeah.
Peachy was saying something. Hold on.
I'm sorry. No, I was just going to say if they're going to take me to jail over ID, so if they said ID, well, we're going to take you to jail, I would ID.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah, it's especially on a traffic stop. It's legal traffic. I mean, as long as they're pulling you over for a reason and it's legal, then you are required to. It's just the way it is, and they don't. The reason
well,
they
I
don't is
mean,
because they don't have
not
it.
even. I mean, not even a traffic stop. Even if I'm in public and I've done nothing wrong, and they were going to take me to jail over principle, fuck that. I'm not going to jail. Fuck it. You want my ID? I may say, okay, I could give you my ID under protest. I'll give you my ID, but I'm not going over to jail not showing my ID.
Well,
And there's people in the community that's going to jail for not signing a ticket.
because they're
and
on
then
YouTube.
and then
They
that
want money.
ticket turned into more bad behavior that ended up in more tickets with felonies. And so I say, I say, ask this gentleman, okay, well, so tomorrow if you're speeding and you get pulled over again, are you going to sign the ticket? No, I am not. Well, I just, come on now. I don't get that. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
You hear
I
these
don't
guys going, well,
understand
speeding is not
anything
a
about
crime,
them. Their theories are ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
they're just ridiculous. The law is the law. If they can prove it's not the law, then fine.
And they
But-
carry their script with them in their Black's Law Dictionary with a
Yeah,
1905
yeah.
definition of driving. And, the world's thinnest book is Great Sovereign Citizen Victories in Court.
My sister actually has a copy of Black's Law Dictionary that
What did
she
they
had to get when she took a paralegal course about 30 years ago.
That was still more up to date than what they cite. They're going back to like the second edition.
All right, hold on, guys. I'm having issues with my internet. I'll be out and right back in.
Okay.
Kenny, we're going to talk about you.
Anarchy.
Hi, Comfort Doll. Hi, Jimmy.
Hi.
Well, I have to say too, when I think that what Kenny said about because of YouTube, I think that people do get caught up in the moment. I know that people they do things if they were not live streaming on YouTube, and I purposely try to be mindful of things like that because you can get caught up in the moment. And in the blink of an eye, you can be arrested. Like I vowed, I'm not going to get arrested. I said, I'm not going to get arrested. But, I had to prepare myself in Atlanta to be arrested, even though I said, look, I'm not going to do anything to get me arrested. And I didn't mean to get arrested. I was past curfew, 10 minutes past curfew. And I take responsibility for my actions. At the same time, man, things happen, and you get caught up in the moment, and you can get in you get felony, man, that ruin your life. It would ruin if I got a felony right now and it's stuck. I would think it would not be the end of my life, but I would think it would be. I would think that it would ruin my life.
Well, and it's like
yeah.
it's the frauditors more than anybody else in the YouTube community who do this because they get money from people. They have a little band of idiots who give them money.
But look,
over
how
and
much
over.
money? I mean, seriously though,
They don't have jobs.
Look, I don't believe Josh when he says he makes 120,000 annually and he makes 14,000 off of donations. I don't.
No.
Yeah,
The IRS
I don't.
like to know about it though.
I don't believe that. Yeah.
I say we send the IRS to all these guys' houses and say, "You make a lot of money, huh? Where is it?"
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
What about-
and
Yeah.
I hope these people are paying child support.
And they're not. That's why they don't have driver's license.
Well, and I think Selmo's on the run all the time right now. I don't think he was back in Florida. Why didn't they put him in prison?
Because he stayed up, probably.
That could be, yeah. I mean, it's a general
And as
principle
of
for the president.
yesterday's news, he's actually doing something legitimate. He's making an album, a rap
Oh, dear Lord.
album.
Oh, did you
That's
see
bull-
Turd Boy
that's bull
on
crap.
last night?
Well, that's where I sort of heard about it. But no.
Oh man, is Turd Dick going to be the other rapper on it?
No, he's back up north.
James, is there any way we can have you? Taco's trying to come on. I can only have 6 people on because I'm
going to drop
using
off so
yours.
James can be on for a
No,
while.
you should
Okay?
be able to do
Yeah, sure.
10 now, Kenny.
I gotta take my dog out, so I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
Kenny, you
I
should
can
be
only
able
do,
to have 10 on now.
It only lets me do 6.
Well, that's. Have you tried to do 10?
don't know why, I just
StreamYard said you could have 10.
Yeah, you should be able. If you haven't tried, Kenny, try it because you should be now.
Yeah, I did
be able
try
to
it.
10.
I did try it. So add him.
We had a lot of people on Masshole the other night. Same thing with Vilified
I
Freedom
think
stream.
I
last
think you
night.
might have to update your StreamYard. Or
Yeah,
maybe there's different levels of StreamYard.
It could be.
Hello.
Yes,
This
so
is
Yeah,
Taco.
that's
Who's
my voice
Taco?
right now. We'll let some other people on. Thank you so much for having me on, Kenny.
Nope, no problem, man. Thanks for joining. You're more than welcome
Hey,
to
I
come on
enjoy
anytime.
this. I don't get to talk to
Bye,
anybody very much anymore. So.
Hello. I've been on
Bye,
Masshole
John.
a couple times.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, give a shout out to Gary W. He's been pretty active in chats everywhere on the Watchdog channels.
Yeah, amongst others.
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Sean, you're still up there. I can't get Taco in. Oh, somebody left. Oh, it's Noli. Okay, well, Taco can do. What's up, Taco?
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
It's going
What's
all
up,
right.
brother?
So yeah, in Wisconsin, we don't get any real auditors here.
No auditors. Well, good for you, man. That must be nice. I wonder what it'll be like when the auditor finally decides. Maybe we shouldn't be talking about this because there's going to be auditors that are watching. And they're going to be like, "Oh, really? None in Wisconsin, Virgin Territory." They're going to try and hit you up.
News Now California came to Sheboygan once, and he got arrested.
Oh, what did he get arrested for?
Oh, he talked himself into he wouldn't provide his license or something, so the officer took him in.
Okay.
He basically talked himself
Failure to identify.
He basically talked himself into getting arrested.
If you're not committing a crime, you do not have to identify.
That's not everywhere. There are some places that
Where?
I don't know. I've heard several different ones saying our state is a stop and identify state.
Yeah, right.
Okay, if you can let me know where, I would love that information.
It was like a disorderly conduct in public or something with him and another person. The other person was nice and identified and everything, and he continued to be disorderly and didn't identify.
And you have to identify. At that point, you're just, it's disorderly conduct, and you do have to identify.
And he thought he was going to get off because the other guy got off, and he was surprised he didn't. When surprised, he was continuing to be a jerk and
Who was
not
this, Taco?
identifying. Yeah.
Who was this?
News Now California.
Oh, that's what you said. I'm sorry. That looks like an angry. Let's see. What are those dolls? Those dolls back in the 70s, 80s. Raggedy Ann. Looks like Raggedy Ann's husband.
This is actually It. The clown It?
Yep.
From Stephen King?
Yep.
Oh.
I actually live about 40 minutes away from Stephen King. That's funny.
Wow.
I love Stephen King.
You ought to see his house in Bangor.
as he deserves it. People forget that he's done the Green Mile, Shock Redemption. What Shane's? Yeah,
Yep.
he's done a lot of good work.
He has an extremely warped mind, which I love.
This is Wikipedia, and the states in red, I believe, right?
Yep, states in red are stop and identify.
Stop and carry.
It says stop and identify states, so there you go. That's the ones that are.
And Wisconsin's one of them.
Mrs. J, stop and ID states for suspicion of a crime or not?
It's just the law. It
I
doesn't say
understand that,
anything
but
about
is it
suspicion.
stop and ID because of suspicion of a crime, or just stop and ID period?
Hang on, I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, I appreciate that.
And some states like New York has the stop and they can stop and frisk you. I think New York still has that, from my understanding.
Yeah, it's called
Like
a Terry.
Terry
It's called a Terry frisk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, either way,
And-
for
and-
this one, they were called. So, once they were called, they can ask for ID.
Welcome to the panel. Welcome to the show, Joe. Joe Kaiser. Haven't seen you here in a while. Glad to see you back. Yeah, so we have people saying this stop an ID upon request. What states do this? Because California is not one of them, that's for sure. They have to have reason to ID you.
And most people don't know their rights. They don't know that they don't have to ID. So the police can be very intimidating.
Yeah,
and, and of course, if you're raised like I was raised, you're going to just, you're not going to ask questions. You're going to give ID.
I actually had a cop tell me once, is like, well, California, you have to, their reason was they said, in California, you have to carry an ID upon you, which you do. In California, you always have to have your ID on you. But they're trying to use it to get me to ID. And I'm like, well, no, that doesn't mean I have to give you my ID. It just means I have to have one on. So, I don't know. So
Well,
they do,
that's like here.
they do attempt to do stuff like that.
That's like here in Georgia. So so I have my carry concealed weapon permit, although I do not have to show it, which is crazy. Now, so if they run my name, they're going to see that I have my permit, and they're going to probably take extra precautions because they think that I have a gun. That's really the only bad thing that I see, that I'm put on. We're put on a list ever since we're born with a social security number. But that's the thing about having I shouldn't have to have my carry concealed weapon permit to carry a weapon on me, but I have to have it on me. But yet the cops can't ask for it.
And no, when they ask for your ID, I have my CWP as well. When they ask for your driver's license, you're supposed to give them your CWP card as well, so that they know.
Not here, maybe in Maine, James, but not here in Georgia
or California either.
Wow,
That's surprising.
I mean, you're supposed to give that to them so that they know you probably have a weapon on you.
No, they can run when they run my license. They will see that I have a permit after they run my license, or probably my vehicle tag number.
Wow, that's a lot different than up here.
I don't have to tell them I have a gun on me. Now, it is etiquette to say, okay, hey, officer, I have this or that. That might be in the best interest of my well-being to let them know, but I don't have to.
And Joe, yes, it's a law. You
Wow.
carry your ID on you all the time in California. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to show the police when they ask. Which I mean, yeah, you do have to carry an ID. But of course, if you don't have to show it to them, you can always just say, yes, I do have it, because they, just like with the service dog thing. This is your service dog. Yes, you don't have to tell them why this is your service dog. So you don't have to show them.
Exactly.
Yes, I have it. So I mean, it's
Hey,
one of
Kenny,
those things that's unenforceable.
Hey, Kenny.
Yeah.
Can we talk about what happened with SGV and his crew in California?
I didn't see what happened with SGV.
Okay.
What happened?
They were filming a business on a public sidewalk, and they were doused with water for a good 35 minutes.
Oh wow.
And it was SGV and two other people I'm not too familiar with, and they stood there and they took it.
Why did they stand there and take it?
Well, that's a good question, but they got soaked. Their camera equipment got soaked, and that guy was definitely in the wrong. Although he did, and then he turned around and lied to the police, saying that they were on the property and pulled mace on him, which was a lie. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just the questions are endless of some of these situations.
Well, basically, we'll see when the lawsuits are filed. If they're going to sue them, they got their end result.
Well, absolutely, and let me make note. It is not. It is not my when I film. It is not my intention to go out and do this for lawsuits. It is not worth my time for lawsuits. It's not worth the money. Same thing going to jail. It is not worth my time or money to go to jail. I would rather not. I would rather, I would never say I'm a martyr with what little filming I have done, but I certainly am not going to go to jail because of making a point. It's not worth it, and it's not worth it to me standing on a sidewalk getting all my equipment soaked to make a point. That's just my opinion.
Like I said, I didn't really know that whole situation, but I will say this: now that they know how police feel when they get water thrown on them, or urine, or feces, when they're just trying to go out there and do their job, sort of thing. Now these individuals kind of have a understanding of, hey, I'm just out here trying to do my thing, and people are coming around fucking with me, putting water on me, potentially ruining their equipment, stuff like that. So I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just one of those things. Now they kind of know how they feel. The cops do.
I hate to say that Josh is correct when I think it's Josh that likes to say it, that they don't have to identify unless they've committed a crime, about to commit a crime, or something else.
That's right.
But that is how it is.
You know what?
Even in the stop and identify states, that they have to have a reason to identify.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
Thank you for that. I wanted to clarify that because people, there's I don't know, people misspeak and they're not sure. So yes.
I mean,
yes, but in the same breath, the police can come up with a reason. So for them to say, well, have I committed a crime? Well, if you're about to commit a crime, how am I supposed to know you're about to commit a crime? You're suspicious.
That is not guilty. Suspicion, is that a felony or a misdemeanor? Suspicion does not grounds for ID. Absolutely not.
So
if you're being, well, how are you supposed to know that you're about to commit a crime? It doesn't say a felony; it says a crime. It doesn't say felony anywhere in
Okay,
that in the statute.
let's say that you busted a window out and you're going to enter that premises on robbing, so you might or you have a gun and you haven't done anything yet, but they may investigate to see what's going on. They just and I will, if I've not committed a crime, I will not ID. But yet, if they're going to take me to jail, I'll ID under protest. But they just can't ID because of retaliation. They can't do that.
No, but a lot of the police will say in these videos, well, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Well, in this day and age, we have to be careful.
In this day and age, you have to be careful. It's not a
Exactly.
crime. It's not suspicion. It's not suspicious. You cannot do that with in this day and age, and you're suspicious.
I thought suspicion was enough.
No, absolutely not.
Mrs. Jarhead,
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was out mowing my lawn. I was carrying open carry, right? My pistol or whatever, Maine's an open carry state. And up my little dirt road comes a sheriff, a deputy. He stops and starts asking me a shit ton of questions. Blah, blah, blah. Why you carrying a gun? Blah, blah, blah. I said, it's open carry. You're carrying a gun, for Christ's sakes. He said, but why are you? You're out mowing the lawn. And I said, well, rabbit, raccoons, foxes, or whatever. And he was extremely belligerent. And I actually called his name in to the sheriff's department. I haven't seen him since.
Okay.
He was.
I kind of want to go back to the SUV thing. So I'm seeing in the chat, Powerwagon is saying that they followed the guard to his house and filmed his house. Is what happened, Peachy? So like I said, I didn't see it, so I'm not sure.
I can't hear Kenny.
You can't hear me?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
we
hear
hear
you.
you. We can hear Kenny too.
Oh, can you? I can't. I'm gonna have to go out and come back in. Unless Kenny, you can switch us around. That might help.
I don't know. How do you switch around? Again. All right, is this better? I don't think she can hear me still. Can anyone else hear me?
I can. Thank
I
you.
can
Yeah, I
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Okay, cool. All right. So Power Wagon's in there. He's in the chat. He's saying that SGV and whoever was out there with him, they actually followed this guard that was spraying him with the hose to his house and started filming his house.
I don't know about that. I know Furry showed up for backup.
Well, then
I know
they probably showed up.
What's that?
If Furry showed up, they probably did go to the dude's house because that's a furry thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. It's just that look, I don't follow people. I'm not like a number one fan with a lot of people, especially the people that I don't agree with. I may check in to see what their dumb asses are up to, and that keeps me grounded. Really, for me to go out, and I don't even go out and film weekly, not even bi-weekly. And I mean, I haven't been out filming since Atlanta, but I am on long-term disability with stage 4 breast bone cancer, and so when I do things, it's I'm probably doing it in pain, but then like I need a long break. I need a long break. So Kenny, that I watch some of these. Sometimes I'll tune in to some of these people just to keep me grounded to when I do go out and film,
Mm-hmm.
to be
Good idea.
mindful, do not get caught up in the hoopla of live streaming to the audience. And because in a blink of an eye, man, I've been arrested twice. If that tells you something, in 1 year, I have been arrested twice for filming in 1 year.
Yeah. So we have
And
So
Yeah,
Power Wagon says it was threatened to follow him. So he didn't follow him. It was he threatened to follow him. Okay, so
yeah,
thanks for clearing that up, Power Wagon.
yeah. You know,
Yeah.
and that may not be a lot of arrest, but look, I mean, for me, yeah, you know, I've never spent the night in jail until I got arrested in Atlanta this last time, and I was there long enough to have 2.5 square meals and to get a blanket and pillow and such to spend the night. Man, it's fucking sucked.
How was
It
the food?
sucked. Well,
Bless you for keep going. That's
what's that?
that's got to be really difficult. Bless you for keep on going with cancer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's got to be really difficult.
everything, and let me say this: everything is inactive. They don't call it remission, but it's inactive at this point. So in my bones, it's inactive, and I still have a major hip issue from. But yes, thank you, Mrs. J. And you know, I was arrested my fourth night filming in Atlanta, and I stayed there for 10. So even after being arrested, I felt like it was imperative for me to go back out and show people what was going on. To document and show people.
Yeah. I appreciate that. My daughter ended up with breast cancer, had a double mastectomy, I guess they call it.
Yep.
And she's in remission now, or whatever. So I appreciate that. So everybody, pound breast cancer. I mean, because it's a real thing.
Yeah, I definitely I've had that with plastic surgery, and then they said no, it hadn't spread, and and so I had to fight to get a PET scan. So the biggest thing I can say with people with cancer is to fight to get PET scans, because that will show if it's spread or not. And I had some major decisions to make, and they were trying to make them for me with the assumption that it had not spread, which was a bunch of crap. It had spread, and we know our bodies best, so I knew something was wrong further, and I came within 2 days of doing some drastic things with chemotherapy and other things, and then they, with me kicking, screaming, and crying, they did a PET scan, and then it came back lit up like a Christmas tree. So the motherfuckers were wrong. And if I have one thing to say about all that with cancer, PET scan. You guys have yourself, friends, family. Make sure you guys get PET scans. Don't just take the doctor's word at it that no, it hadn't spread.
Right.
And they're wrong every day. No doctors, just like everyone else. I'm wrong a lot. The cops are wrong a lot. Doctors are wrong a lot. And you know.
That's why they always tell you to get a second opinion. It's always good to get a second opinion when it comes to any kind of diagnose from a doctor. Always get a second opinion. Don't just take the first doctor's word for it. I've had instances where they saw something wrong with my knee. They diagnosed me with, they said it was Osgood slaughter. And then I went to a sports doctor and said, no, that's not it. That's not it at all. Like, this dude's an idiot. So, I mean, yeah, always get a second opinion, because, they can only, there's so much information that they have in their head. They can only go off of what they remember and your symptoms. That's what they go off of. So, they're trying to lower it. They're trying to figure out what it is. But one of the things I really enjoyed about what Peachy does is Peachy will go on Josh's channel, and if Josh does some bullshit, Peachy will call Josh out on it. She don't give a shit. And Peachy, and Peachy does not get blocked. If I went on and said the same shit that Peachy says, I would be blocked a million. I already am blocked, but I would be blocked again. So
I'm
there's this one
blocked
video.
too, Kenny.
There's this one video. Josh,
Hey,
he
Kenny.
put up. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Josh put up a video, and he was. It was total bullshit. He was. It was clickbait, and Peachy called him on it. And then by the time I got to the video, the title had already changed. But I went through the comments and I saw Peachy said, "Josh, come on, this wasn't an audit fail. You're full of shit." Well, he didn't say this, but in my head, I was saying you're saying it's full of shit, and he totally changed it. So
I remember that.
props
Then he
to Peachy.
changed the title. But Kenny, I had been blocked for him for a long time, and he just recently unblocked me. Now after the New England thing debacle, I don't know if he's blocked me again, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay, you were gonna say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to address a comment from Gary W. about fraud. About he's not surprised, or he's surprised the frauders aren't banned from flying by TSA.
Uh-huh.
I actually used to work for TSA, and they aren't banned, but I can almost guarantee you, majority of them are going to be selected for additional screening every single time they fly through. They're probably on that list.
Why?
They're probably on that list
Why?
because of through CODIS or the various, felon lists and all that stuff.
I don't know.
It automatically will flag them for those things.
But don't they have to have a pretty damn good reason to get put on like a no-fly list? Like I know Eric Brandt
It's
is
not
on
the no-fly list. It's for additional screening.
I got you.
What video Power Wagon were they attacking me on? I want to go and check it out and see what they were saying. Should be interesting. I figured Josh would say something after I went on. Because last night, I don't know if you know Speechy, but last night I went on NNE's panel, and it didn't go, but I didn't think it would.
I didn't see it. Can you give me a synopsis of what happened?
Oh, I went on and I was basically, I wanted to ask them about what they thought about Josh and his claim that he didn't, get his DNA taken. And of course, they're like, well, come on, what's the proof? I'm like, well, I'm on my phone for one. I don't know how to share a screen when I'm on our phone. So I said, well, Brian, give me your email.
You can't. I don't think there's a way that you can't even do that, Kenny.
Oh, even if there is, I would have known how. And so, so News Now 702, who was actually one of the nicest people there, said, well, Brian, why don't you give me your email and he'll send it to you? I'm like, yeah, we can do that. Anyway, I left. He never gave me his email, so then I left, and I guess they started talking shit. I guess, whatever. But to be fair, I wasn't exactly as cordial as I could have been because I was attacked and I felt attacked, so I responded. So I could have been a little better, but just they didn't want to hear the truth. At one point, I think it was News Now. Someone said it was News Now Indy or no News Now. Somebody said, because I brought it up that it's the law that if you are arrested of a felony in Indiana, you have to give your DNA. That's just it. And this person said, "Oh, it's the law, but what is there a but? It's the law. Are you guys trying to claim that Josh is above the law here? You can just get away with pick and choose which ones he does and which one he doesn't." So,
almost guaranteed, Kenny, that his DNA is already in CODIS.
Oh yeah, I'm more than likely sure it is. So I guess maybe they already had it, so maybe they didn't take it because it had already been taken. Maybe, but I highly doubt that. I'm pretty sure it got to because the law and all they're not gonna News Now hosters. They're thank you, Paralyzed. That's who said it. And welcome back, Nicole. So yeah, Power Wagon, which video did you say? Josh's NNE panel. Was Josh on the panel, or is it just the one that I went to? That's right. The ladies love Josh.
Who loves Josh? What?
That's what Josh. You don't know in the video he went and he was the video he went. Remember he was defending that kid in Anderson, and he went in the cop, and he was like, he was in his element, man. The phones were ringing, people were calling in, and he was just loving every minute of it. He said, he started singing, I got the power. And then he said, yeah, the ladies. He's like, the ladies love AFL.
He is so delusional.
It was so
I mean, seriously, look. If I have been in that much trouble like he has, I would have had psychiatric help. Psychiatrist. Yeah.
That was peak ego time for him.
I'm sorry.
You could tell he was reveling in every single moment, every phone call, just the whole situation. He was so for certain that was going to be his big viral moment, and he's actually taking credit that the news agencies picked up that story when more than likely they got it from Facebook, not from his little piddly ass YouTube channel. But he's making the claim that because he went there, the news agencies picked it up.
Well, I unsubbed from News New England. I have not unsubbed from some of the other people that put out regular videos, but definitely after all that with News New England, I just completely unsubbed Kenny from him. So anything that happens on his show, I'm going to hear it secondhand.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Like yesterday was just it was just a fluke. I was just like, I'll go on because I figured because there was somebody that said they think that he would at least be cordial enough to have a conversation with on the show. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I did, and he wasn't, and I should have known. But it's all good. I mean, it didn't. I got a thick enough skin that didn't really bother me too much. They're saying bullcrap. They're using the same fifth grade mentality. Oh, you must love Josh. Yeah, because that's obvious, right? Completely obvious.
You know what? You know what, Kenny? I mean, it's a statement when your comments are deleted and you get blocked.
Brian should be worried because last night he didn't have Josh and he only had like 21 viewers watching him.
Oh, true.
So what happens when Josh is in jail?
21 viewers.
When I came on, he said he actually made a statement. He said, "Why are my viewers going up when all of a sudden you come on?" I quite didn't know how to answer that because I didn't tell anyone I was coming on. He assumed that I went on my channel and said, "Guys, I'm going on in any panel. Let's troll him," is what he was thinking I did. That's not what I did.
I know.
So yeah, so that was interesting. All right, Jim, thanks for showing up, coming by. Oh, hold on. I think I'm gonna put the thing up here because I think Nicole would like to come on. Nicole, you're more than welcome to come on if you would like. Anybody actually is wanting to come on. But yeah, I'm not sub to Josh. I think I'm sub to Utah Cop Watch. I'm sub to. I think many auditors I'm sub to. I don't think I'm sub to too many auditors, honestly. I think Nasty Nathaniel. I think I'm not sure, but I think that's it really. Can't think of too many more auditors I'm sub to. But then again, I get all their crap on my feed. Welcome back, Miss J.
Yeah, my phone's being stupid as usual.
Fine.
Yeah.
I was having some internet issues. I think it's done finally.
Mine did that too, Mrs. J, so not a problem.
Oh, I just wanted to say, oh Josh, I want you so much. Yeah,
Oh.
right.
Yeah, I'm sure Peachy feels the exact same way.
What do you want Josh for, Mrs. J?
Well, I would. He looking at him makes me want to turn lesbian. That's all I have to say.
I'm sorry.
I mean, these hot women are just becoming hotter each day as I have to look at Josh's bitch tits. I'm just saying.
Oh, there we go again. Talking about Josh. Gotta mention his boobs.
I'm so glad to put Josh out my name for this.
Moves.
Well,
Mrs.
you know,
J.
I can say two things about maybe the possibility of why they're growing so much.
Okay.
One, he's pregnant, which
Is it? Hold on. But,
Colleen is the father.
Is it Brian's or is it Anselmo's child?
yeah, who knows? Two, he's gained. A lot of people that gain weight will gain in the breast, and there's actually a condition with males. I can't remember the name of the condition with that males have excessive breast tissue. But three, I just heard recently somebody on the panel about Suboxone. Suboxone.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yep.
That's what I was gonna say because I heard the same thing, that he's been on it for a while and his boobs have been increasingly getting larger ever since. So,
I mean, hey, if you're bisexual, man, go at it with him. I mean, that would be a lot. People love to suck on those titties. You know?
Oh man. Have you guys taken a look at Carolina Fort Worth has done some like really cool videos on Josh, and man, she's just plastered his face on all these like cops, these overweight cops and stuff like that. Man, it's like it looks like they're pretty freaking funny, and the videos are really good too. So if you guys haven't, check out the video she did on her.
She's blasting Josh for something.
Yeah, because Josh is a fucking idiot. Josh claimed that she was a domestic violence victim, but yet he was treating her like shit and calling her out and calling her liar and all this stuff. And even if he did believe that she was a domestic violence victim, treating her like that isn't going to help any situation at all. That was just stupid. And Brian was along with him.
But look at his, look at what this man has been accused of with Hot Tow Truck Girl. I mean, who in their right mind would end up in a hotel with watching some stranger fuck your girlfriend as a watcher? Who would even be in that situation? And then the accusations that came out. Not only that, but the felonies that he already has on his record. He is not a good person, people.
Is that? I mean, is that not called being cuckolded?
Yeah. And if you guys watch, last night I recently watched the Judge Joe Brown case where him and Danielle went on, and they were actually talking about how it was funny. If you watch it, it talks about judges like, oh, so you like to watch because Danielle liked people watching her while she was doing stuff. And it's actually mentioned in the judge video, and I thought, well, wait a minute, isn't that what the police report said? I'm like, that's irrelevant.
And that whole thing was a lie. That whole damn thing with that trip and with Judge Joe Brown, all that. No, it wasn't. It was No, it wasn't.
They lost though, didn't they?
It wasn't Brown. It was Judge Mathis.
It was Judge Mathis. Yeah, Judge Brown had to resign in disgrace, I think.
Yeah, he got in some trouble.
Yes.
But with CFW though, I've been hearing, and the evidence is not out yet, but I've heard many people say that she did call the cops on that black man so she could have content.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Called him the Watcher. That's right. It was pretty funny segment. Sorry.
Yeah, he really no. You're exactly right, Kenny. He did. He said, "You must be the Watcher." Yep.
And then
he got a new nickname in prison. While in Indiana, he got a new nickname, Short Stack, for his prison name.
God.
Dope boy.
Wow.
Well, of course, yeah, Fizzy, they totally lost the Matthews case because they tried to go in and do what they do on YouTube. Say, this is this. Oh, great. Do you have any facts? I have them, but I don't have them. And Judge Mathis wasn't taking any of that bullshit, unlike a lot of his YouTube subscribers will. So
I remember watching it, but I just don't remember what happened in the end.
You should rewatch it. Yeah, they lost because Danielle was saying all this stuff, and the judge said, well, do you have any proof? Well, no, I don't. Well, then you're fucked.
I forget
Yeah,
what
he
type of
couldn't
banging
keep-
he said it
He
was.
could not keep his mouth shut, could he, Josh? He could not keep his mouth shut.
Oh no, he had to insert himself in that. You knew he did. And then at the end, he tried to give a big spiel. I love how they didn't let him finish. They didn't show his whole spiel. They just kind of cut him off. I'm like, oh, that's great. You know he hated that. Like, I didn't get to my big punchline, and that's why I stopped you. I thought that was great.
Well, you know, their whole thing has been a con because they were together. Josh and Hot Truck Girl had been together, but they were running a con by having Hot Truck Girl Danielle lead these men on to get money from them, right? So that's why she was there, because she had taken all this money from this guy, and she promised to pay it back, and she didn't.
Was she, Mrs. J, was she prostituting herself?
Yes, I
Yes,
think so.
according-
Yes.
They did
Yeah,
mention
okay.
that.
Yep.
It's been mentioned several different times, actually.
Well, that wasn't really kind of proven, but not really, with the incident in the casino, and where she picked up this
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Remember that? And they went up to the room.
Yes.
And so did their thing, and then the next morning he claimed that couldn't wake her, so the gentleman, the man left, and so Danielle had one of her thug friends come over in the hotel room, and he made a phone call down saying, yeah, I'm the card owner,
Yep.
whatever, that we're going to
Yep.
stay in the hotel room longer. Yeah. And then they
Yeah.
ended up racking up like $10,000 on his credit card.
Okay, so let's change the subject a little bit. And Somo, if you guys watch
$10,000 for Hot Tow Truck Girl. That's
that
a
hot.
bit excessive.
Yes.
Well, he
She
didn't
ain't that
pay
good.
her that. She stole it. He didn't
Yes.
pay her that much. She stole it from him. The guy that owned the card had no idea she was doing it.
Yeah, well, they went into the gift shop, and you know, you buy all
you see all the tape,
yeah, sunglasses and everything, and they had to take out yeah.
She wore the
Yes, they
sunglasses
did.
on stream too. She wore the
Yes,
same
they
sunglasses
did.
on stream.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Yeah.
All right. So, as if you watched El Santos stream last night, he was talking about. He asked Will where Selma was, and he claimed Anselmo was out doing a rap album. Now, if you know anything about Anselmo, you know that if he were to do a rap album, he wouldn't keep it secret. He'd be posting Instagram photos. It'd be all over his YouTube page, everywhere if he was doing something like that. So, my question is, do you guys think it's a cover? And if so, what exactly do you think is going on with it? Let's start with you, Peachy.
I'm going to have to skip this one because I caught a little bit replay, but I don't know him enough to have a comment.
Fair enough. What about you, James?
I'm just saying that if Anselmo is covered, it's probably by his buddy. That's all I got to say about that.
Okay. What about you, Taco?
He's half working on the album and half sewing his new pantsuit for next season of Auditing.
All right. Well, you, Mrs. J.
Okay, Taco, what theme is going to be his new pantsuit?
Oh,
I think it's going to be neon green.
Oh, God. All right. As far as him doing a rap album, it's obvious from the way he dressed, he thinks he's a rapper. So, you know, but you're right, Kenny. I never even thought about that last night when they tried to convince me that that's what he was doing. And, you know, those guys need to stop. I've caught them in this several times. They can be so believable, especially Sancho. But to lead people on like that, it's starting to piss me off. I really want to know where Anselmo is because he's my favorite one to hate.
I agree. But
I love
Taco,
that. My favorite one to hate.
Like-
I love that.
but Taco,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
does have a zipper in the back.
No
All right,
Just
comment.
saying.
What about you, Sean?
Well, a few thoughts on Ask Elmo. Over this old stream we used to be on, we called him Chuckle Fuck. As far as Turbot, and as far as like last night, I mean, I thought Sancho and Turbot were going to get married. He didn't ask him one hard question, like, excuse me, why are you such a jerk all the time? You know, it's like he just let him go on and on with nothing to back it up. I think Anselmo's actually in jail.
I think I have a strong suspicion he's in jail as well. Because like I said, with the album, man, even when he was part of that little music video he did, he posted, "Hey guys, I'm gonna be in this music video." If he's working on an album, he wouldn't be able to. I don't think he'd be able to stop himself from promoting it.
Well, I think they fired the cop from Village People with all the the virtual signaling going on. So maybe he'll be the new.
Oh Jesus!
He can wear the little red jumpsuit with them.
You went way back on that one, didn't you?
No, Village People still exist. I mean, they're all new guys, of course, but somebody owns the name, and they still are the Village People. But in the first wave of, we got to take live PD off, we got to take cops off, they said they got to take the cop out of the Village People. He was black. So now Selmo can go and be it. That was his lifetime dream. Because I'm sure he has stayed at the YMCA more than once.
Oh my God.
Yeah, okay, so all right, so
maybe he's stuck in one of those NBA bubbles.
With the whisk?
No, like I said in the beginning, I think he's in jail too.
Yeah.
You're right. He couldn't be quiet. How can he be quiet? He can never be quiet.
At least the post offices are safe.
Can I point out one thing from the stream? I got to point out one thing from the stream. Will stayed completely true to that whisk being the mic. He held on to that thing to his mouth the whole entire time. That takes skill. That takes skill to hold on to that bit the whole time.
He didn't see what I posted for him. I said, I want to put that whisk where you floss your teeth with it.
Okay, I just died.
He's just, I'm trying to figure out the unholy trinity would be Auditing America, Auditing for America, and News Now Patricia.
News Now who?
Well, Patrick, I call him Patricia.
So you think
Patricia.
the unholy trinity to you would be I'm sorry, but Patty,
Glenn, Bobby Hill, and Selmo and his buddy Will.
Yeah, Patty.
Dang it, Bobby.
Dang it, Bobby.
I would have to disagree with you. I agree with you on Glenn. I have to throw Josh in there personally.
That's a close up,
Patty's annoying, but I wouldn't put Patty in the old unholy trinity. Anselmo, yes. So my three would be Anselmo, Glenn, and Josh.
Fair enough.
Patty's annoying.
Glenn,
I don't think he's
Glenn number one.
Yeah,
Glenn number one.
I know you just had Bow on the other day, but I think some of that is just TV because he'll go and admit to the person, "Hey, I'm just trying to get a reaction from you here." So I'm not sure what he actually believes.
Well, goddamn you, Bobby.
Oh,
I don't see Glenn or like Bow or even Furry being true predators.
Furry's just an accident.
They're agitators. They're agitators.
Bow even admits he's an agitator, not an auditor.
Or all three of them are agitators more than they are predators because when was the last time you actually seen them do a real audit of something?
That's a good point. Glenn doesn't believe in anything except getting money.
Oh no, and annoying the cops that annoyed him in the past. That's what he's all about.
Well,
Getting
he's got
even.
some
It's all
new
about
ones
getting
that
even for
he
him.
annoyed.
It's all about getting even for Glenn and making the money. That's what it's all about for Glenn.
It burns. Good.
Yeah, that was so funny. I love their when they do Glenn videos now. It's so freaking great. National Report.
Well,
So funny.
That'll always be like the number 2 clip now behind P. Barnes.
Yeah. James, could you do me a favor and like turn your volume down a little bit, please?
Turn it down. Turn it down. Turn it down.
All right. So you guys so for the last few panels that I've done, Extra Good Citizen has come by, and he seems to be one of the few auditors that is willing to at least come on the panel without even being asked. So I mean, where I don't agree with some of the stuff he does, I do want to give him at least a little bit of kudos for at least having the fucking balls to come on, as opposed to some other auditors that won't do it. Mainly Josh, or yeah, most of them. So I just wanted to give him that. So what do you guys think? How did you guys think the 2 times he came on? What did you guys think how he did? Any reaction to anything he said?
Propaganda. He was just going, and the same thing with was his name Conditional Discharge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you just fighting the wrong fight there. You know, it's like, come on. You're being rude to him just to be rude.
Hey, Kenny, thanks for having
Yes.
me on. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys real soon. I appreciate
Lovely
it.
to meet you, Peachy.
All right, thanks, Peachy.
Thank you.
Have a good one, Peachy.
All right,
Hey,
guys.
take care, PG.
All right, I appreciate it. I got some work to do, but I'll be listening.
Okay.
Nicole, the story with Extra Good Citizen, there's some claims that he stole money from somebody. And yeah, so everyone's really pissed off at him for that. I know the story a lot better than I do. Sean, you probably know it a little better if I do. If you want to go ahead and let her know, she wanted to know what's the deal with EGC.
Oh, well, who's that?
Who wanted to know? It was Nicole Broke. She wanted to know why everyone hates EGC.
Why what?
Everyone hates Extra Good Citizen.
I wouldn't say I hate him. I just thought he was just basically he took your show to spew his propaganda.
Yeah,
which they all do. It's the same speech, different person.
Yeah, and if you notice,
proof.
even if
Be proof stunned.
Yeah, and that's the thing about when a lot of auditors who come on, I have to be careful because like with Omaha Cop Block when he came on, he was very agreeable. He admitted there was some bias. He was very agreeable, but if you think about it, when he went back to doing audits, everything was forgotten that he said. Oh, I see what you're talking about, but he never took it into practice. He was just being agreeable for the show.
Yeah.
Which
Hey, Kenny?
I wish they wouldn't agree. Just say you don't agree. We can have a car. We don't have to leave. Wait, hold on for a second, James. Hold on. We don't have to leave the interview agreeing with each other. We can agree to disagree. It's not an issue. I can totally do that. And that way you don't look like a fucking hypocrite when you say, yeah, well, I agree with it, but then go ahead and do it anyway when you leave. It's pure hypocrisy and it defeats the whole purpose. All right, James, go ahead.
Well, we proved. Go ahead, James.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sean.
I was going to say we proved that with Peachy and Noli are definitely left of me, but I'm not going to sit here and call them names. I'm going to listen to them. And
exactly.
I just asked Noli, well, why'd you flip off the cops? What did they do to you today? There's no reason to do it.
Sure, I get you. All right, James, go ahead.
All right.
James, go ahead.
Going once.
What's up, Murphy? All right. Well, okay. So,
Taco.
Yeah, Taco. What about you? What did you think about Extra Good Citizen when he came on? He's come on twice now.
I give him props for at least coming on. but he gave his kind of spiel of, oh, I do it for this reason, that reason, and cops are bad. That's why I do this, and how everything he does is just and right, but I don't agree with it. And he just gave his propaganda. Most of these auditors don't want to come on these because they want to do it in their own venue where they have the control.
They have the camera in their hand. They can yell, "Tyrant, tyrant, tyrant."
Well, no, they just want on their own live stream so they have control. They can have the numbers. They can have their audience. They can have their panel, so they can outnumber, like on News New England with Kenny. They can have the numbers game.
Yeah, which is
Simple
why
as the wolf skin. That's what happens.
Which is totally why I suggested while I was there that maybe we go to a neutral channel and have somebody who's neutral run interference for both sides. But there's like, well, we're neutral, and if you watch any part of that, you'll know, or any part of any of their streams, there's no neutrality involved in any stream that Brian runs or AFA runs or anybody that should. Well, not gonna say that. News Now 702, I think, would actually be a good moderator. Though she is on their side, she seemed to be more open-minded and had a mind of her own, able to free thinking. She seemed like more of a free thinker the only free thinker on that panel, I should say.
Hey, when does Glenn's mock trial start?
Next week. We're gonna do that next week. What's gonna be this week? But Desert Sentinel has something to do, so that's why we're not doing it.
See, I think
today.
Desert's the perfect one to be a mediator.
I think he would be a great mediator for kind of debate with any kind of honors. I agree. I think he'd be perfect.
I'm glad to see he's back. I know he got burned out. He quit for a while.
And it would be perfect to do on his channel. That way, people could come on and something like that. Because I mean, we could do it on any channel as long as But I just feel it'd be better if it wasn't on either one of the people that's involved's channel.
Or it'd be like nobody who's a frauditor or a frauditor's friend or an anti-frauditor.
Well, they could still show up on the other person, but there would be no like home court advantage sort of thing. They wouldn't be able to control the comments that are being shown, or I couldn't do the same thing, even though I would show good. I would show good and bad comments anyway. But just to be fair, let someone that is neutral, like Desert Sentinel,
allow it to be mirrored on both channels.
Oh, there we go. That too.
Exactly.
That would be a good way to do it. That's a good point. But definitely
to compare them.
Have a mediator, but I don't think they would agree to that anyway, because they're all of this mind that they don't want to give any what they deem as a troll channel any kind of content or any kind of they don't want to make us valid. They don't want to put any validity to anything we say or any of the content that we do.
Whereas you exist because they do it.
Pretty much. And that's what
else probably. I think you're a smart guy. You'd probably be doing something else, but as long as they're going to be morons, somebody's got to know about it.
Like if they weren't here doing this, I honestly would just do politics. Honestly, I could just do a YouTube. I probably wouldn't have the success I have, but that'd be okay. Like I said, I don't do this.
I'd be there though.
I don't do this for success, but I would love to do. That's why I like to do today. I want to do something a little different. I don't want to just focus on bad. There's good in this world that also needs to be shown. But then again, the only bad isn't just the auditors, or it's not just the Democrats. It's not just the Republicans. There's bad on both sides, and I like to think that, and I like to challenge people to at least open their mind to believe that. I mean, you can be on one side or the other and think one side's better than the other. Okay, fine. In your mind, you can, but you can't deny that even though you're for them, there's some bullshit on that side as well.
Exactly. But I always ask people, and I'm an independent moderate, so I listen to both sides. I don't watch CNN. I don't watch Fox News, except for Chris Wallace, because he really took Trump out to the woodshed and whipped him the other night. Because he's an independent journalist. He really is. So I try to find sources like Reuters, Sky News in Australia, other ones like that to look at this objectively and form an opinion. But I don't think we have true Democrats and Republicans anymore because both parties have been hijacked.
Oh yeah. Agreed.
I mean, John F. Kennedy was as close to a Republican as a Democrat ever got.
Yeah.
Especially being from Massachusetts, that was really weird. But right now, I mean, they can, as I said before, everybody says, well, the world's going to change. No, those people who are rioting don't vote. They don't want people to know who their names are.
That's a very good point, actually.
You know,
they're the ones that try to cry the hardest.
Yeah. I say it's Xbox Nation. They ain't going to get off their couch and go vote.
It's a very good point. So yeah, nothing. So, if that's the way it goes, you're right. Absolutely, nothing is going to change. And but I do think I do have hope for at least the millennials. The millennials are more inclined to vote than my generation was, Gen X. They're more inclined to vote than Gen X was. So, and there are politics as we're seeing senators come in younger and younger. I think that is awesome. We're seeing congressmen, all these people getting involved in politics at a younger age. Yes, they're progressive, and yes, I don't agree with a lot of stuff that they are doing, but it's good to get their voice out there, which gives hope that maybe there's some people that are younger that do agree with what I agree with that'll get involved at a younger age as well.
So I'm 59, so when they passed the right to vote at 18, that was a big deal for us. But then they didn't get up and go vote. They didn't get up and go vote.
The best thing I could say is for every right-leaning newspaper or video that you read or see, get one from the other side. And for every try to get read their sources too, get where they get their sources from and see it, get what their source material is and understand that you'll learn a lot more from that source material and everything, and you'll get a bigger picture by getting both sides.
I have found the best one I'm watching right now is on YouTube, and it's called The Hill. It's from the Hill newspaper, but they have two commentators on there. They balance each other. They're both fair. They will criticize their own party. But yeah, it's so much now. It's all home field. The news is no longer what we grew up with. I grew up with Huntley Brinkley and Walter Cronkite, and you never heard their opinions. Now it's opinions as news.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, all the networks are guilty of doing that too. It's not just CNN or MSNBC. Fox is doing it. BBC, even public
public's been liberal forever.
Even public access news is doing the same sorts of things.
But the PBS NewsHour, that was always liberal. But they were bound, but they kept it pretty cool about it,
Yeah.
It's it always cracked me out, and I'm not going to defend Fox, but I like they're faux news. The right said, and what are you, MSNBC?
Exactly. That's how I look at it. I actually do watch Fox News. I watch Fox News more than I watch CNN, just because I don't know. The way I look at it, Fox News will at least cover other things aside from Trump. CNN, that's all they talk about is Trump. I'm tired of hearing Trump all the time.
Brent Baer's a newsman. Brett Hume's a newsman, always has been. And Chris Wallace is proving that he doesn't kowtow to anybody. That's because his daddy was the best ever, Mike Wallace.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Okay. I had a lot of fun time, Taco. Thank you for joining me.
I do have a lot of fun, too. It's like I finally get to sit down with adults and talk.
Yes, that's why I'm enjoying doing a lot of these panels now. Because I'm going to start doing more.
This is a lost art.
Oh, yeah.
Conversation, discussion without anger. I mean, well, of course, it helped that I found out Noli actually went to college in the town I lived in for 9 years, So I knew she was Southern. I could hear the voice, even though she lives up in Washington. But, even though I disagree with some of the things they do, it was still very nice. I was nice to them. We had a discussion. We didn't have a finger pointing. You are discussion.
Yeah, and that's what I want. That's why at least I would hope that auditors would take that notice. Like, they're not going to get attacked here, at least not from me. I can't say anything about my audience because they have
names, but
they have a right. They're going to call. Yeah, they're going to call them names. They're going to call them on their bullshit, which I think that they should totally be allowed to. But I'm not going to be unfair to them. I'll ask the questions that you guys want me to ask. And if they're willing, I'll even let you guys come up on panel and ask your own questions and get the answer to the way you guys want it to be answered. I don't know many auditors that would be willing to do that, but no, probably not. But I would totally be willing to do it if we were able to do that. But if not, I'll ask them still, and I'll won't let them. I'll try not to let them just get away with it. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to you can't force anyone to answer any question they don't want to answer. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So that's always got to be remembered. But anyway, thank you guys for joining. Comfort Doll, thank you. Mr. Jarhead, Mr. J, thank you. Nicole Brooks, thanks. Power Wagon, thank you, sir. Sourcing Watchers, thanks. Vlad, thank you. Izzy, thank you. Who else is here?
James, of course.
James, thank you. Gary W. Murfra, thank you, sir.
Jimmy.
JB,
Jimmy.
thank you. Jimmy, yes. Can't forget about Jimmy. Jimmy, thank you,
Nicole.
Sir. May, thank you. Nicole. Anyone else I did miss, I'm sorry if I missed you, but that doesn't mean that you guys are not welcome anytime. And anytime I'm on stream, if I have a panel link, anyone is willing to show up. Adam, thank you, sir. Adam, I saw that video that guy made that claims you are CCW. He has no facts whatsoever. He just, I don't know. He just thinks you are, and they're with no reason. It's pretty stupid. So yeah, I saw that. That was pretty interesting. I'm not paying for subs. Anyway,
we know a few who are. We have to get absolute proof.
yes,
first.
yes.
So yeah, thanks a lot.
Stanley, thank you.
I can't
Stanley,
see
thanks
the
for
names
joining
right now, but if anybody's still there from my group, a big shout out to the Unforgiven.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining, and see you again next time we stream. All right, guys. Peace.
Not
Yep. Thanks, Kenny.
Thank you, Kenny.